Since the beginning of time, people have looked up at the night sky and wondered. We see so many stars spread out across the huge darkness. The Quran, in Surah At-Tariq, talks about this amazing sight. By the heaven and the night comer, Quran 86:1. This verse shows us a bright shining star, At-Tariq, piercing the night. At-Tariq is like a light in the darkness, showing us the awesome power of creation. It reminds us how big and mysterious the universe is. The Quran wants us to think about these amazing things in space. It wants us to think about our place in this huge, complicated world. The stars, like the verses of the Quran, are signs for those who understand. They show us a deeper truth, a power bigger than we can imagine. The Quran asks us to look, to think, and to see God's hand in everything around us. At-Tariq is like a window into heaven. It asks us to look past our everyday lives and connect with something much bigger than ourselves. The night sky, full of stars, shows us the wonders of creation. It makes us think about the mysteries of the universe and the power that made it all. The Quran tells us that God is always watching over us. There is not a soul but that has over it a protector. Quran 86:4. This tells us we are not alone in life. A guardian angel is always with us, guiding and protecting us. This protection gives us comfort and strength. It reminds us that even when things are hard, God is with us. The Quran teaches that God is closer to us than our own heartbeat. He knows everything we think, do, and even whisper. But even though God protects us, we still have to make good choices. We are responsible for what we do, but knowing God is with us gives us hope. It helps us to do what is right, knowing that a higher power is helping us. The Quran tells us to live good lives, guided by faith. It teaches us that our choices matter, both now and later. Knowing God protects us reminds us to live with purpose, trying to do what God wants us to do. The Quran asks us to think about how we were made. Let man consider from what he was created. He was created from a gushing fluid. Quran May 6:86. These verses tell us about the amazing journey of human life. We start small and simple, but we become complex and amazing. The Quran's description of creation is not a science lesson. It's a way of showing us God's amazing power to change things. From something so small, God creates all the wonderful, different kinds of life. This makes us think about how special and delicate life is. It reminds us that we are all connected, sharing the same beginning and the same end. The Quran says every person is important no matter who they are or where they come from. The story of creation in the Quran shows us God's great power and kindness. It makes us feel awe and wonder at the miracle of life and how amazing our bodies are. This helps us appreciate life more and live it with purpose and thankfulness. The Quran talks about a day when everything will be revealed, a day of judgment. On the day that secrets are revealed. Then he will have no power and no helper. Quran September 10th, 86. This day is called the Day of Judgment, and it's an important part of Islam. On that day, everything we did, even our secrets, will be known. We can't hide from the truth or from what happens because of our actions. The Quran says true justice will happen. Everyone will get what they deserve. Knowing about this day helps us to make good choices. It helps us to think about what we say and do because we know we will be held accountable. The Day of Reckoning reminds us that this life is short. Our real home is in heaven. The Quran doesn't talk about Judgment Day to scare us, but to help us make good choices. It tells us to live with purpose, to be the best we can be, and to fix our mistakes. Knowing that God is just helps us live good lives. The Quran ends Surah At-Tariq by telling us to be patient and understanding. So, be patient with gracious patience. Quran 86:17. This verse tells us to face hard times with strength and trust in God's plan. Life is full of problems. Sometimes things are tough, our faith is tested, and we don't know what will happen. The Quran tells us that these problems make us stronger. Being patient isn't just waiting. It takes strength, courage, and strong faith. It means trusting that God has a good plan for us, even when we don't understand it. The Quran tells us to learn, to think about its verses, and to try to understand. By being patient, thinking, and wanting to know the truth, we can handle life's problems with wisdom and grace. The Quran's message is always true, helping those who look for it. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. God is always with us, guiding and protecting us.